Read a smile behind my mask. How long will it last? Stimulus going fast. Government won't act. How long will this be going on?
Aloha, this is Skye, your soulful progressive with FNN, Feminist News Network, that Feminist News that is right for you. Remember, I am in the Avapui room, but I got breaking news for you today. Remember to like and subscribe. Not since 1812 and the shootings of 1954 has the state capitol ever been tried to be taken over and stormed like it was today by the GOP backers and right-wing insurrectionists that are for Trump, his loyalists. He had a rally this morning where he told them to lead them to the Senate to do more protesting, but instead it turned into a domestic terror event where they ended up going and storming and breaking windows, and the first woman to be shot as they broke open the Capitol doors was a woman who later died of her injuries. Now, what is really going on? The Senate and the House were put in a safe place in Fort Crowley while they secured the Senate with FBI, police, and military troops. And this is what really went on, as explained by Cori Bush, who was there, because they were only 3 states into certifying the election of Biden when this all went down and they stormed in, because those were Proud Boys, not Antifa. Those were white people, because if those were blacks, you listening to the end of this, but dig this. If you got hanged on, you know if they were black. You know if they were black, they would have got them and shot them before they got in. They would have had military like this up in there. Like this. Trump security is involved in this. All are complicit. And so let's take a listen to how she witnessed what happened, how her female ADOS senses, like most of us do have, especially if we have indigenous DNA within us, felt something going on and reacted to it. Let's take a listen to the NPR interview that happened today with Cori Bush, so you can get a feel of how the Senate and the House really felt about this. And then we're going to discuss what actions need to be taken with the 6 p.m. curfew. Let's listen.
So I was actually in the House gallery, and I was sitting and listening to debate happening, and I just felt like it was time for me to get up. I just felt like I needed to move, and so I got up and
were you
walked
hearing
out.
something or seeing something, or what gave you that sense?
Well, I knew what was happening outside.
Yeah.
I knew that the protests were going on, but I just felt like it was just time for me to move outside of the gallery, and so I walked out. I wanted to see what was happening outside.
Sure.
And so I walked out and tried to go outside the door to see, but the doors were locked. And so I did look, and I was able to see people starting to come closer up the stairs, up the steps. And so I'm seeing the flags, and I'm seeing people starting to come towards the steps. And so I went on ahead and left, and was able to get back to my office. And then within a matter of minutes, probably before I even made it back to my office, they had already come through the doors. Or maybe just when I made it back, they had come through the doors. So my team and I, we're safe. I'm just glad we were able to get out.
You're describing it so calmly and matter-of-factly. It must have been quite frightening in the moment.
I come from protests. I've been to hundreds of protests, and even though this was not a protest, but the idea that I am seated now to be able to affect change with stuff like this, with an insurrection like this, because I am seated, that gives me hope, and it also helps me to remember my place. My place is to use what I know, because the thing is, if somebody who isn't from protest may not understand what just took place. But for me, coming through the Ferguson protest and so many other movements, and seeing what happens firsthand, watching what happened on this, on the television, and looking out of the door, seeing what was happening while I was there, it's not what we were doing fighting for Black lives. This is not it. We were fighting in defense of people's lives, making sure that people could have a decent quality of life and not being terrorized simply because of the color of their skin. Something that should be the basic right. It should be something that is the expectation of all people in this country and around the world. But we don't have that because we have such a police state in this country. And the thing is, what we were witnessing today was a bunch of people who were upset because they want to side with a president who is not for all the people. A president who has decided that he wants to hold on to something that isn't his. And so they want to stand with a person, with a character, with a personality, versus making sure that they are upholding and uplifting our democracy. So that's what we were witnessing. It was not a protest. It was a coup. It was a domestic terror attack.
Those are heavy words to hear anybody talking about Washington at the capital of the United States in 2021. How much responsibility, in your view, does President Trump bear for this? How much does his supporters bear for this?
President Donald Trump needs to be impeached again. I know that there are people who are working on that. Probably working on that right now. I hope to see that happen.
I think those people are probably under lockdown right now. It's been a day, but yeah, go on.
I hope that is what's happening right now. And he deserves jail. He deserves to go to jail for what he's doing. He is someone who he incited what happened today. He told his folks to, he told them to stand by and stand down, and now it was time for them to come out. And so now what did he tell them? You're special. You're very special. So go ahead and go home. The thing is, you're very special. You did a good job. You did your work today. Now go ahead and go home, so I can save face. No, it's done, and so, because our democracy and our nation's capital are under attack, it's still under attack. It's dark outside now here, and so we don't know what's going to happen when people start going to their cars, and innocent people walking around. We just hope that people stay safe. We hope that nothing happens at Black Lives Matter Plaza here in D.C. We hope that innocent people are able to get home safely tonight. This was a racist Republican attempt to overturn this election and disenfranchise the voices of Black and brown and indigenous voters who delivered this election for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and how it has led to a crisis of our democracy. And now it has incited a domestic terror attack. It must be condemned in the strongest possible terms, and I believe the Republican members whose actions have incited this violence must be removed in Congress. And so let me tell you, I am introducing a resolution calling for the removal of any and all members of Congress who have for months tried to steal this election and invalidate the votes of Black, brown, and indigenous people. The dangerous consequences of their actions are on full display right now, and as my colleagues and I are on lockdown, this needs to happen. There is no place in the people's house for these heinous actions.
Please finish your sentence. Then
that is it. They are dangerous.
We are where we are. You serve in Congress. You have to serve with Republican lawmakers. How do you work with them going forward? What do you say to them tonight?
That work was dangerous, and for those that were not a part of it, they need to condemn it. You need to hold your people accountable, hold your party accountable, hold your colleagues accountable, because you put the lives of people in danger today over Donald Trump that at the end of the day wouldn't stand up for you. At the end of the day will throw you under the bus.
Woo!
You know, and so we want to make sure that regardless of where you stand, Democrat or Republican, that you cannot come and storm the United States Capitol. You cannot break windows and break down doors. There is a way to make sure that your voice is heard, and this is not it.
Well, let me ask you quickly, we just have a few seconds left, but in a sentence or two, are you optimistic that a Biden-Harris administration might help calm these waters?
You know, I don't know that it'll calm it, but I will say I'm excited about it, and we are all going to work together. This is what we need right now to fix what Donald Trump has broken.
That is Representative Cori Bush, Democrat of Missouri. We appreciate your time. We're glad you're safe.
Thank you.
This is live special coverage.
I know you heard that. Serious. This is serious. And there should be a resolution brought forth. And I'm glad she's already working on it to hold all the people responsible within the legislature that has brought this forth, including Trump himself. If now is the time to cut off the Twitter, when is? And they're still allowing him to try to calm down the crowd by saying that the vote was still rigged. He shouldn't even be allowed to say that. He needs to be put in his place right now. Pence, he put Pence under fire. He put his life in jeopardy because they were storming while he was in there too. Now, there is something really wrong going on with America, and if you think this is the end of this, you are wrong. This is why everybody must be held accountable. We must recognize this as a coup. We know that only things like this are seen in South American and beleaguered countries that are starving to get their freedom. But this is all based upon Trump's misinformation that he's been doing ever since his first Trump Tower and his first TV show. And they still don't get that he's acting. And just like the senator says, your words has created a falsehood that has created this catastrophe within our government and our country to cause super spreader events, because you know these people are going to bring all of this back to where they were with them if they're not being locked up. But the whole crowd should be held accountable against going against America. Biden will be elected in. Will America be the same again? Would the $2,000 checks slow some of this down? Hell yeah, it would. If they would have gave them their money, a lot of this would have been slowed down because they would have been too busy at home taking care of their business instead of being distraught, disturbed, and broke and tired like a lot of us are. And wait until the left starts getting upset once you start evicting and shooing them away. If America doesn't take care of this, because we see that it's making us look weak to other countries. Putin is having a good laugh. Huh. Canada is like, oh my God, people don't go down there. Happy that they're up there. And all the rest, Europe, Germany, UK, like Biden can't get in there soon enough. And you think he's going to cause calm when he believes in locking people up without cause, like he has created the GEO groups in the private prison industry the way they are now? We're going to have a rough 4 years. And Trump has made sure of that. And everybody else that has been complicit from the media on down in what has led to this. And it's a sad blue day in America. And if you agree with me, leave those comments below and let me know at FeministNewsN@gmail.com. Thanks for donating. I'm on PayPal Me. Thanks for watching. Remember, I got the rant of the day and I'm on Facebook. And understand this. In this era of hate, we gotta participate so we can have less insurrection like this all over the. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Peace.
See the smile behind my mask, how long will it last? Stimulus going fast, government won't act, how long will this be going on? I'm standing here in line, struggling with my time. The people just keep lying,